both if the outcome of the negotiation from Cameron, what he will achieve or won't achieve, will that in any way could affect your positions you just gave now?
Should we go first?
Sorry, maybe a long way.
From our perspective, David Cameron's asking for a break on migrant benefits, which effectively I don't think will stop migrants coming to Great Britain. They're coming for jobs, not for the benefits. Our country simply can't sustain this level of inward immigration. And Will's speech was very entertaining, interesting, but at the core of it is an economic crisis in Europe that's getting worse and worse, and you can't just brush over it. I mean, the imbalances between Germany and the south are getting worse and worse. This is driving unprecedented movement around Europe, and we have to do something. I'm pro-immigration, I'm pro-Europe. You cannot have no rules. That's where we come from, that stepping outside, we can engage with the other European countries and set our own rules. The trade argument's fallacious because essentially tariff barriers are very low anyway, and effectively, Europe trades with Brazil, it trades with the USA, it trades with Japan, it trades with everybody. It doesn't have to be that we have to be part of a political union to get those benefits. It's just nonsense. In fact, the trade balance between Europe and Great Britain is a £60 billion deficit. German business will insist that a deal is done. Not Great Britain, German business will, because we're their biggest export market. So it's all very interesting, all very technical, and but that's enough.
From Spain.
North and south.
I would like to ask you, in case of the Brexit, what will be the fate of the British people living in Spain and living in the rest of Europe?
I think it's just a red herring. So, well, I probably shouldn't have said that. It's a wrong use of language, but because you're fishing all of them, I think. But sorry. Essentially, there will be visa-free travel throughout Europe. There was before. There will be afterwards. This is just nonsense. We travel visa-free to America. We travel around the world. I think a British passport gets you to more places than anywhere else. The idea that there's not going to be people living in Spain, there was before, there will be afterwards. The reality of this is, it's like a divorce. There's going to be a breakup. There's going to be pain, and we fully admit that, by the way. There will be pain. Because when we went into the European Union, there was pain in Great Britain going in. Our fisheries policy got destroyed. All sorts of bad things happened when we entered the EU. And coming out, there will be a readjustment. But it's better for the country.
I'm confused. Isn't it very short-sighted to say, okay, we want, like right now, Southern Europe doesn't have economies we would like to have, and we would like to support, and we would like to have in the European Union. But I mean, things change. The global challenges change. Economies change. I mean, Norway hasn't been that rich. No, I mean, like 50 years ago, please correct me if I'm not right, but it wasn't always doing that well. So I'm just wondering, isn't it, because general elections you can correct every 5 years, so 4 years, it depends. But I mean, this is quite a future decision. So I'm just wondering, isn't it too short-sighted to just say, okay, right now we're the 6th largest economy, Germany's doing good, Southern Europe is not doing good, and that's why we're going to leave.
Southern Europe is not doing well. It's a function of Germany doing well. You are causing the problem. Because the euro is based on the Deutschmark, and the euro is crucifying Southern Europe. And this is the point, that if you were good Europeans, you'd be sending trillions of pounds to Greece, Spain, Italy to readjust the situation. But you're bad Europeans because you're taking the good bits of it and not the bad bits.
Do you, I mean, right now, Germany is one of the countries taking so many refugees to actually
Didn't talk about refugees, we're talking about economics.
I know, yeah, but I mean, it's all one thing, isn't it?
It's not one thing.
Well,
how is it one thing?
European Union.
If you had a proper union, like in America, they would deal with the dislocations by funding the bits that don't work. In the same way, you crucified Greece, took it to pieces, almost did an asset fire sale. If you were good Europeans, you would have been funding Greece, Italy, Spain to help them come up to the wonderful German standards.
But if you were good Europeans, you wouldn't have so many opt-outs.
I'm not a good European, I'm British.
What
difference do you think it's going to make to the campaign that cabinet ministers will now be allowed to side?
Yeah. Well, I think it's an important step. There are clearly very widely held positions on this issue right around the country and in different parties. So I think it was inevitable that there would be differences of opinion in the Conservative Party. We've already seen that on the backbenches. I think the important thing is that once there is a renegotiation, we will see a lot of Conservative MPs and ministers coming out very clearly in support of our campaign. And I think that when the campaign actually starts, when we have a referendum date and are into the short campaign, the vast majority of Conservative MPs, as with MPs of all the other major parties, will be on our side of the debate.
Well, our campaign's non-political. We try to frame it as the metropolitan elite, with due respect, versus the public. So whichever politicians come out or don't come out, and I think there's going to be a lot of failed politicians come out and say the EU is a wonderful thing. We don't really care.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.